He's not a pay-per-view attraction.
Let's get to it. So a lot of things going on in boxing, man, and it makes you wonder what's going on with the sport of boxing. You know, one of the big problems that we have nowadays is people illegally streaming the fights. Now, as you guys probably already know, it's been reported that Fury versus Usyk, over 20 million people streamed the fight illegally. On MMA Mania, it reads, Fury vs. Usyk loses over 100 million in revenue after data uncovers staggering 20 million illegal streamers. Now listen, all thing I can say is this. Sometimes they have fights where a lot of people feel like these fights shouldn't be pay-per-view.
He's not a pay-per-view attraction.
Now I get it, Fury versus Usyk, that right there is supposed to be a big fight. It was actually undisputed. So a fight like that, it's okay for it to be pay-per-view. $89. People just don't want to do that anymore. You know, people have been doing it for a long time, and you know, a lot of people feel like a lot of fights should be free on ESPN, or if they're from Golden Boy or Matchroom, you know, they want to stream it on DAZN. And I think that's probably why DAZN tried to go a different route. And they tried to make it to where you can just subscribe to DAZN and you'll be able to have free fights. But even DAZN done started having DAZN pay-per-views. I guess they felt like they was losing out on money. But see, that's the thing. People are going to always illegally stream these fights unless they do something different. They're going to have to make a change. They're going to have to either lower the prices, or they're going to have to try to start some type of organization that's going to ensure the boxers get paid somehow. And it shouldn't have to depend on pay-per-view buys from the actual people who watching the fight themselves. Maybe they should just try to get together and try to start some type of union or something. Something that's going to ensure them getting paid. Something that's going to ensure their promoters getting paid. And that's not the only thing. Rick Glazer also reported about Canelo. This is what he tweeted. Here's what many have been waiting for. The Canelo versus Munguia pay-per-view did slightly over 550,000 pay-per-view buys. Now, a lot of people actually had predicted that. A lot of people said it wasn't going to do over 1 million. Even I had predicted it myself. It wasn't going to do over 1 million buys. And that's my point when it comes to matchmaking. Nobody really wanted to pay for that. A Canelo versus Munguia.
You mother. You pass a line right there.
But you know what would do 1 million buys? Canelo versus David Benavidez. That would have done 1 million buys. Tank versus Frank Martin. I don't know if that's going to do 1 million buys. But you know what will do 1 million buys? Tank versus Isaac Cruz. Tank versus Ryan Garcia rematch. Or even Tank versus Shakur Stevenson. One of the top names. And I ain't saying he's not going to do 1 million buys with Frank Martin. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, right? But this one here is becoming a problem in boxing. People who don't want to see these fights, they don't want to pay for it, and matchmaking, which influences them not paying for the fights. So they're gonna have to do something different. Start some type of organization, like I said before, or they're gonna have to find some type of way to lower the prices, or find a way where they can get paid and then stream the fights on ESPN or Amazon Video. Or even through Netflix, how Jake Paul doing it. Some people gonna look at me and say, you can't compare that to an actual boxing match. But why not? It's boxing. It got Mike Tyson, he's gonna be boxing. And a lot of people got Netflix. And if the boxers can do a deal with Netflix, that right there just may save these people losing money from these pay-per-view buys. Now, I don't know what the deal was or how he got that deal with Netflix, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to stream it and you ain't going to have to pay nothing extra. You just pay monthly what you pay Netflix. And somehow he's making that fight happen. So that's what these boxers are going to have to do. They're going to have to do something like what Jake Paul doing right now. You guys talk about Jake Paul all you want to, but he's doing something real cool. Ain't nobody going to have to buy no pay-per-views. You already got Netflix, you got access to the fight. That way we can stop these illegal streams, and that way they won't have to worry about losing $120 million in revenue.